A group under the auspices of Climate Clock Nigeria has called on the federal government to adopt and localize national environmental policies and plans on climate change as part of efforts in addressing issues bordering on climate change in the country. The group at a press conference to mark the Climate Change Emergency Day, led by the Director of Projects and Partnership, Climate Clock Nigeria, Jukes Anyaduba, said there should be an active inclusion of the government in advocating for climate change in Nigeria.
Now, one of the basic tenets of the United Nations through the SDGs is domestication of the Sustainable Development Goals and localizing them in all the countries. And by so doing, country leaders have pledged to adopt the SDGs by virtue of their engagement with the United Nations. Right? So the message has always been, in your country, there is a need for you to not just advocate for the SDGs, but to implement the basic tenets of SDGs, which include, of course, climate change. So involvement of the government has been a very, very key factor. It has been a challenge, I must say. Pan-African leaders, not just the leaders, a lot of Africans still do not understand the basic concepts of the SDGs and climate change. A lot of people don't know why they need to stop burning fossils. A lot of people don't know why they need to divert to renewable energy. Do you understand? So that is why we are still talking here today, saying, look, there should be an active inclusion of the government in advocating for climate change in Nigeria. Nigeria has been on the forefront of that. I must commend the Office of the Senior Special Advisor to the President on SDGs, Mrs. Adefurile. Yes, they have been that office has been very, very key and active in ensuring that. But a lot of work still needs to be done, entirely specifically from the Ministry of Environment and Office of the Climate Change Director, as it is. So the advocacy continues. It is not enough. So what we are doing today, Climate Clock, don't forget, we are simply using a tool of a clock to remind us that the time to act is now. If we don't act now, we're going to be in problems. We might not have an environment or a world to live for our future generations, or even for all of us here, because I know we are youths. So the clock is a tool that reminds us that the time to act is now. So I challenge you out there to go ahead, use your own words, use your tools, use your art to create awareness, advocacy for climate change.
The group said they will continue its advocacy and create more awareness on the impact of climate change in Nigeria. They noted that violators will be reported to the appropriate authorities of government for proper sanctions.
The only thing the civil society can do, let me say the non-state actors, is to actually look at how we can talk more about those people, forth in the environment, making the environment or Ministry of Environment to understand that a lot of people are causing, issue in the environment. And another thing again I need to raise here is when we talk about climate change, it's not only Ministry of Environment. We have climate smart agriculture, we have Ministry of Agriculture, we have energy, we have transportation. So it's high time for us to understand that we don't limit the conversation of environment or climate change to Ministry of Environment. And you will also remember one of the biggest actors when it comes to MDAs is Ministry of Finance. Because you cannot be talking about climate finance, you cannot be talking about funding, and Minister of Finance will not be part of those. So I would just say that for issue of penalty, as a civil society, our role is to make sure that we report such people to the respective ministry. We cannot make any, and let me give you an example of Lagos State, for example. If you look at Loma in Lagos, I'm not a Loma staff, but when I see something that is not right in my community, it is my responsibility to report to Loma on what is going on, even LASEPA that works with the Environmental Protection Agency. So I think that is the normal process of way to support the government in making sure that they put laws and penalties in place.
As the climate clock ticks over from 7 years to 6, I will be more active in leading advocacy for climate change in Nigeria. I will engage my local politicians and business decision makers for everyone to act in time for a safe climate future. So gentlemen of the press, attendees, I challenge you today to make your own resolution, post it on social media with the hashtag my climate resolution, hashtag act in time, hashtag climate emergency day, hashtag climate clock.
In Abuja, LM Chukwemeka reports.